Hello, and thank you for contacting Wave Support. I see from your request that this patient is struggling with comfort with these lenses. If we think back for a moment here, the patient previously wore a spherical lens on a toric cornea. That spherical lens mostly was providing a little flatter fit because it had the ability to rock on the toricity, probably giving a little bit better tear exchange and less potential for digging into those peripheral curves. Your lens, which is a G-SIM design, it looks like a good design overall, but if you look at a couple areas, in particular that landing area, you'll notice that when you get over to the, you're pretty well lined in the 12 o'clock radial, but when you get over at 3 o'clock you got kind of a down turner, and then it lifts up on the other side. So there's some potential here for this lens to be digging in. So a couple thoughts. You want to really work on ways to improve this landing zone here. So there's a couple ways to do that. One simple consideration was switch over to tangential design. If you do that, tangential, as you may recall, tends to look at that, gives a little bit better representation in the peripheral part of the cornea, whereas axial tends to be a little bit better centrally. So tangential may give you a little bit nicer true alignment in that peripheral corneal area. So over to the right, I designed a tangential lens. All I did was I just click over tangential and redesigned, and if you look, if we go back to the 3 o'clock radial, just for comparison, you'll notice that in your prior design your base curve's about a 777 and a 786 in the new one, which gives you about a half step flatter fit overall. So that's one way to sort of get that area a little bit less likely to dig in peripherally. Another possibility, two other good possibilities, one is to add a little asphericity into that lens, and by doing that, you'll do this on the tangential design, you'll notice that it also lifts up those downturners just a little bit so they're not so abrupt going into that cornea. So it gives you a little bit more. And then the last possibility would be freeform. Quite often if I can't get this lens to be comfortable enough, I'll leave it in tangential, switch over to freeform, which is going to give you a little bit more of a customized lens in each radial. And if we look how that lens design might look, you immediately have a lens that looks almost perfectly aligned in every meridian. You just want to make sure that you leave enough tear exchange, maybe up to 50% quadrant control, and lift that up in that superior and in the inferior quadrant. Make sure you have enough clearance, and then even go lift up that peripheral curve a little bit more all the way around. And now I get a lens that will probably give you a pretty nice landing zone and probably less likelihood to be so irritating for this patient. Keep in mind the original lens probably was a little on the flatter side relative to a toric cornea, so sometimes if you get these lenses too snug, they'll get some awareness in them, so don't be afraid to leave it a little on the flatter side. Anyways, I hope this is helpful. I wish you well with this case, and thank you for contacting Wave Support. Have a great day.